Morning, and this is our Wednesday morning digest, and today we have a great panel. We're going to be handling something amazing today, so I want you to call all your friends and send this link to everyone you know. Let us get into our topic today. Now, they say anything big started small. The famous brand Fubu was started by Damon John at the backyard of his mom with a sewing machine. We all know about Apple that started in a garage by this Steve Jobs and his geek friend Wozniak. They all started small, and today we are going to be dealing with the starting small, scaling up, because if you don't start small, there are lessons you will never learn, and there are things you will never ever be able to do. This is the Morning Digest. I am your host, Moses Muiruri, and today I have a great panel with me. Tony is back. Tony is back, and today we have today we broke the gender wall. We got Joan today, and they'll be telling us how and who they are. And Joan is a wonderful person that has been doing business. Some of you mlikuwa mnaniambia mwezi za biashara. Leo tuko pamoja. Joan is here with us. Welcome, Tony. Just greet the people. Some have never known you, but Joan will have to introduce herself big time. So, Anthony.
Thank you, Moses, for having me.
Yeah.
Viewers, my name is Anthony Wanyoike. I'm a business consultant, and especially in the field of business development, specifically route to market and consumer engagement. We're happy to be hosted here today to discuss starting small.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joan, this is Elevate TV.
Okay.
All right? Don't be scared. This is Elevate. We are here for young people like yourself. So please introduce yourself. That's your camera.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joan Nyambura. A poultry farmer and I deal with broiler farming. Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Moses, I think I would like to say something about Joan very quickly.
Yeah.
This young entrepreneur, this is her first time to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, when I met her about 8 years ago, she was still in college. And I can tell you today where she is, she's doing big business.
We'll come to there. We'll come to there. I want to begin with you, Anthony.
Yes.
Some of the biggest brands in the world today, they started in ways you can't even, imagine. Today we have Instagram, which has about 700, we're about 700 million, people, active users. And when you hear about it, how it started on a borrowed desk. On the weekends, two guys on a weekend just doing something. They later sold it to Facebook, for over, I think, $1 billion.
Yes.
Two young people who started something. And now today we are talking about a big, massive, enterprise. What does it mean to start small? Let's begin there.
Well, thank you, Moses. Starting small simply means, just the word, just like the term suggests, start from where you are, with what you have, with all the trouble that you have, and the challenges that are there. And simply have the confidence that where you're starting, you'll be able to launch yourself to get into a bigger space. So simply that is starting small. What do you have? And what can you do with what you have?
Now, just hold it there. Those of you that are watching with us, our link is still up. Facebook, we are on Elevate TV Kenya. And YouTube, you can just pick the link and place it in your timeline, invite your friends. Last week we said we are going to give you practical, businesses and business ideas that are going to be released today by Tony and Joan. Okay? Joan.
Yes.
We don't ask ladies their age. Would you want to answer that? Or we can pass. But this is how we're going to ask it. When did you finish college?
I finished college like around 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were you doing? What were you doing in college?
A Bachelor of Commerce in Operations Management from the University of Nairobi.
Did you look for a job? The statistics are if you leave college, in college we used to say you need to buy new shoes.
Yeah, I did. Almost immediately after. Actually, even before, when I was in college, for the year you tried looking for something to do. So I did. But I didn't get anything at the moment. So immediately after, before now graduation, I started applying here and there, but everybody says, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. People are unkind.
Yes. So what happened, I have a background in farming, broiler farming. My parents are teachers, and they have been doing broiler farming. So what I did after graduation, there was no jobs, so I started at home.
Okay.
I started helping my mom. You know, when the farmhand is not around, I was done to do all the work.
The work.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. We are coming back, John, because you know, we have a people that are just finished school. They are lounging in the house. They are saying there's no work. You know, last week he said Dakuna Wera. They are not working. They are not doing anything. They are waiting for jobs in the house.
Yeah.
And you decided to help in the farm.
Yes.
You know, to soil your hands. You know, and they are manicured. I can see. You know, you decided to soil your hands, and today, what did you? Now that you are doing that in your farm, in your mom's farm, what did you learn? I mean, what did you think you can do for poultry for business?
If I can maybe take you back a little, I was in the University of Nairobi.
Yeah.
And broiler farming, mostly we bring chicken to town, city market to be precise. So what my mom could do, she could tell me, nimemwaga mzigo, continue.
That's why,
you know,
that
because
time
she has to
campus.
go back. Yeah, I'm in campus. She has to go back to work, to school.
Yeah.
So she could tell me, let's meet there at this. It's very early. We have to be there very early in the morning. So she could tell me, let's meet there. And, you know, she will tell me, this is how you're going to do it, because I have to be back to work. So she could leave me there. And, you know, I'm in business. Already I'm studying business. So I could tell if she can be able to take me to the University of Nairobi under a parallel program, not a job. There's something there's something little that she's getting from this chicken business. So that's where I started. So I could tell her, Mom, let me do the balance things for you. So you know, I could see there's something she's getting. So that really motivated me to started thinking, if I'm going all around Nairobi looking for work, there's nothing to do. I'm not getting anything, yet I can see there's something small that she's getting. It really made me feel like I want to get into this, to know exactly how she does it. And you know, they're not very keen with how this, balancing that this is the expenses I made, and this is the Bora faida. So I really wanted to know, to get into it and know exactly this margin. How can we make it something maybe bigger and better for us? Yeah.
Tony, she said something that's amazing. Yeah?
Yes.
She learned the business. You know, she just saw the business and learned it from her, you know, her mother. There's something you always mention. I know we have conversations with you, and you said something about apprenticeship.
Yes.
Because we are going to start on that matter of starting small.
Yeah.
And one of the ways of starting small, I believe, is being able to apprentice, even if you have no business.
Sure.
Yeah. You talk about you know, that element of apprenticeship.
Thank you, Moses. Exactly. We need to know that starting small sometimes may call for what we call the apprenticeship. And normally you find this very easily done at home or with a close friend. Like Joan has just mentioned, that the mother would actually send the chicken from Mang, because I know the place exactly. And Joan would actually leave. For your information, the time you receive the chicken at the city market could be as early as 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. You know, you receive the chicken, and then the mom would actually dash to school because she was a teacher. And the good thing is this: when you learn through apprenticeship, what happens is you have hard-on skills.
Hands-on skills.
It's hands-on skills.
Yeah.
So you're able actually to get yourself dirty, you know, in the job. But at the end of it all, you get all the benefits. Like chicken farming, like Joan has said, you get to the farm, you go to feed the chicken, and when it comes to the time of slaughter, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
And even the time of selling. But I
chicken.
like what she said, working out the numbers. That she became the person who was interested in working out the numbers. You will never make it if you're not working out those numbers. Later on, we'll talk about a profit story, I'm sure. So how you work out the numbers to understand how much are you making per unit of the product that you're dealing with.
Tony, let me ask you something.
Yes.
You are a business consultant.
Yes.
What is the benefit of starting small?
The benefits of starting small are many, and one of them is that you need small investment.
Yeah.
Every time you're starting small, you don't require a lot of money.
Yeah.
When you're starting small, like you said, someone started from the father's garage.
Yeah.
What happens, you don't even pay rent.
Apple.
Yeah. You don't pay rent,
Yeah.
you know, because you're basically starting there and you're not paying anyone. When you're starting small, you don't pay rent for the land. When you're starting small, you only require probably something like 10,000 and you're actually able to start. The second benefit is that you have very little risk in terms of the risk, what you're going to manage. It's very minimal.
Yeah.
I mean, when you take something big, like you've put in $1 million or two, then the risk is very high.
The risk is
and when you lose, it's very high stake. But when you're starting with 10, then you feel good. I'll tell you something, which is a very big benefit. When you start small, what happens is you're likely to succeed because your input is little and your output is likely to be better.
Yeah.
And I have a good friend of mine. I'll call him a friend, though he's a good boss to me. He says, success is the greatest motivator. So when you start small, you're likely actually to make something. Let me give you a simple example.
Yeah.
If you started with 100 chicken, and the cost is 250, and each of the birds gives you 50 shillings, then you're likely to make 5,000. And that way, you already are making success. So success being the greatest motivator, you actually find you'll be able to put in more. You know? Then the other thing is you also have time to look at the things in a very organized manner. When you start big, it's unlikely that you'll be able to pull yourself together and be able to look at every single detail of whatever you're doing. So that's why starting small is such a big tick when you're starting business.
You know, Anthony, one of the greatest things, your pet subject is young people.
Young people.
We are together, that one.
Yes.
The thing is, I like that sound of 10,000 bob.
Yes.
10,000, you can start something.
Good.
What was your investment, Joan? Now that Mom was doing it, did you have to invest?
I did.
Okay.
What I did is, when she was bringing her new crop, I requested her, since I'm the one taking care of this chicken, give me just 50 chicken. Yeah. I start off. Don't pay me, but the little thing we'll get from the whole thing, now you'll tell me, this is what you have. And that's what she did. She didn't pay me like cash, but she gave me the 50 pieces. And I took care of everything. And there was no farmhand. She could wake up, go to school, and I was left at home. And now this is before graduation, between completion and as I was waiting to graduate. So she could leave me in the house with the farm work, then she could go to school and then come back. And I knew everything. So the 50, I started with the 50. When we got the little thing we got, now she told me, this is what we got, but I'm not going to give it to you. We will reinvest it back to. So the next time, I didn't bring 50 pieces. I had 100. So yeah. That's how I did
Just out of curiosity, how many are they now? And are they still yours or they are co-owned?
I could say they are, okay, they are co-owned because now I'm married, but I could say between 5 and 10,000.
10,000 chicks?
Yes.
In this Kenya world?
Yes.
10,000?
Between there.
Wow. How long has it taken you to make 10,000?
Okay, it has taken me quite a while because now when I moved from home, now I'm in my own place, you know, now I have to think. I had 100 pieces back at home and I want to go to the next level. Yeah. So I started with, on my own, I started with 200 pieces.
Wow. And that you had made with Mom, eh?
No, that one I was alone. Already I'm from home. I'm in my own, I moved. I'm in my own place, in my own little farm. I started with 200. Yeah.
And so they are now, we are talking about 10,000.
We are talking, Not yet, but almost.
Almost 10,000.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yes.
Give us the math. We're about to go for a break. 10,000 chicks.
Very good. Let me, before we talk about the 10,000, I'll let people understand that one of the biggest layer farmers in Kenya comes from Thika and keeps up to 300,000 layers. Wow. I met with the man and I interviewed him. He started with very small number. That time, they would actually buy day-old chicks from Rhodesia, currently known as Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, yeah.
Yes, so that is where he would actually order, and you had to wait for a whole week. And then when they got here, he ordered when the price was 2 shillings per chick. When they got here, the price was 250. You always pay at the price at the point of picking.
Yes.
So today, that person keeps 300,000 layers, owns a big feed mill with only little level of education, I would say so, primary school level of education, and he's owned a brand that I know he actually sold here in Kenya. Now let me bring the maths closer home. When you're doing like broiler chicken, it's possible to get, very easily to get 50 shillings per broiler. So, and a cycle takes you about 5 weeks, which is 35 days. In 1 year, you can actually do 7 cycles. In 1 year, 7 cycles. So if you have 10,000 and you're getting 50 shillings per bag, how much is that?
7 cycles.
It's 500,000 for 1 cycle. True? For 1 cycle, which is 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Now, if you're able to plan your farm very well, because the space is very kidogo, you could actually make the 7 cycles can give you 3.5 million in 1 year. Many of those people who are employed are not able to get this money. Now, fast forward, someone keeping 300,000, and I know quite a number keeping 80, 100,000. While this is starting small with 100, because I know for sure I've seen people who started with 50.
She started with 50?
50.
Yes.
I know many. Even in that same area, many people who started with 50. Today they're doing 3,000, and they're doing 3,000 in phases. So they have this phase of 3,000, another one. That every month they're harvesting something.
Joan,
Yes.
look at that camera. And I want you to talk to some people, especially both guys and ladies. I mean, there are guys you went to school with, and I'm sure they are not... They are still looking. They are still buying new shoes.
Yeah.
Let's look at that camera. Speak to them.
What I'll say is it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of sacrifice. For this young generation, we want the white-collar jobs. They are okay if we get them, but if we don't, I think we should be ready to start or to do what is around us or what we have seen our parents do. It's not very easy. You're going to find so many challenges, but if with just little sacrifice and a lot of patience, I believe we'll get there.
You know, when we come back after the break, I want to hear if you had challenges or it was just a smooth sailing, you know, a smooth sailing. Because sometimes some people smooth sail. Anthony, we're about to go for a break, and I want to ask you something about, in a few minutes, the young people that we have. You know, last week you told me that they must wake up and go out and do something.
Sure.
Repeat that.
Viewers, and specifically to the young people, I want to tell you today that the rate of unemployment is critical and it's very high. In Kenya, it's spiraling towards 40%. It's time you made a decision that this narrative of hakuna wera, hakuna hustle, it should actually die. There's a lot of work to do. Please wake up, step out, and start doing something. Let me say this because Joanna said, be patient. Bill Gates has got one famous quote. He says, we owe most of the people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. If you watch Joanne in another 2-3 years, you will not be able to tell who this person, whether she came from the 50. So young people, do not overestimate what you can do in 1 year. Stop looking for 100,000 salary. Kindly, rightly estimate where you will be in 10 years.
Well, that's what we can say for now. We're going for a break. And when we come back, we're going to be dealing with other, you're going to be giving us live examples, you know, some of the things somebody can do with that, you know, that's starting smaller. So viewers, please, we go for a break. Invite your friends. The handles are still the same: Facebook, Elevate TV Kenya, and YouTube. And those of you who are on phone, you can send your text and ask Tony and Joan anything on 0719-666655. That's the line to send your text. Don't call. We'll see you after the break.
It's just a coincidence that we're so much aware of what is right and what is wrong, and yet we tend to throw all caution to the wind to do what is wrong.
Your worth surpasses all earthly things, because in the eyes of the Lord God, you are loved.
We have to speak the gospel valiantly with our lives, and it's disheartening. But nevertheless, the gospel as we know it, as through the test of time, we might want to go to war with it and judge, but no.
Marko 10:45 inasema, kwa maana mwana wa Adamu naye hakuja kutumikiwa, bali kutumika na kutoa nafsi yake iwe fidia ya wengi. Muulize anajifunza nini kupitia hilo neno?
I know I'm not just a lucky recruit of salvation, but I am a blessed son in the kingdom.
For this was the beginning of my tribulation, for there was no reason to plead an innocent statement.
Welcome back. We are back live on Morning Digest Wednesday edition. This is Elevate Advancing Kingdom Lifestyle, and we are dealing with the matter of starting small, scaling up. And Anthony has just given a call that we need to wake up. But Anthony, I want to ask you something. Practical.
Yes.
We are talking to somebody who can afford 10K, right? Or maybe actually nothing, but there's still an opportunity.
Yeah.
I want you to speak to the one with 10K and the one with nothing for a minute and tell them how to start up. Because at the end of the day, we need to be able to tell somebody this is the way to go.
Thank you so much, Moses, again. I want to give a very practical example, and this is real. I once gave a young person a job because I knew he was idle at home.
Okay.
And I called the parents and I asked, would you like your son to join me and work for me? I was paying very little amount of money, little in the sense because there was a program that we were putting in place with him.
Yeah.
And exit 8 months last year, the savings was 40,000, savings only.
Okay.
This guy was earning little amount of money, gave him accommodation and everything. With the 40,000, he was able to start immediately when he went back home.
Yes.
He started with a little vegetable farm, bought a calf, and also bought chicken. As we speak, the guy is making some earning from that. So if you don't have any money, because it's possible that not to have any savings, the first thing is you need to offer yourself either as a volunteer or even to ask for a job and be able to be paid what we call a token of appreciation.
Yes.
Normally, even the president the other day talked about it.
Token
he
of
said, we're
appreciation.
only going to give a token of appreciation to the youth.
Yeah.
And once you have that money, please save it.
Yeah.
There's nothing as important as a savings. And once you save, then you already have your seed capital.
Wow. Seed capital. John, you never had to get, you never got a token. Yours was 50 chicken.
Mine was 50,
Yours
yes.
was 50 chicken, eh? Have you ever thought about doing anything else?
I did. I have.
Yes.
Because sometimes there are so many challenges that you think, hey, if maybe I was employed, things would be
Easier.
easier. So yes, I have.
So what are your challenges? I mean, 10,000 chicks.
Of course, I can say first challenge is a market.
Okay.
The market in Kenya for broiler farmers is very tricky, if I can use that word, because of middlemen. When you're tunaita brokers, you know, you have to bring to them, and then they look for the market. So maybe in the process, there's somebody you don't really trust or you don't know very well. Somebody else told you enda kwa fulani, and in the process you lose a lot of money. So I'll say that's okay. That's the first thing. But maybe before even the market itself, the finances, you know, to put up this the coop, and to start off, it's a little bit challenging. But maybe with the right people to talk to, or small
you know, Anthony told us something. You can enter in either as a farmer, or as a not just as a
trader,
farmer, as a trader. Then you as a service provider, and then as a the last one was you said 4.
No, actually, the main are 3. Where you come in as a farmer, in agribusiness, as a trader, and 3 as a service provider. But also could pick it up as a career. As a career. Very high level, where we're talking about the techies.
So which one are you?
Okay, I think I'm in
You're the farmer.
Yeah, I'm a farmer, but maybe slightly before I had my own farm, I started with like providing the service.
Okay.
So I could go buy chicken from farmers and then supply it to hotels or little butcheries. That's then the little money I got. Now that's when I started with my own farm. Now that's between kutoka kwa mom and being at my place. So that's what I did, of which I still do. Yes.
Has COVID hurt you? Chicken don't get COVID, but has COVID hurt you?
Yes, it has greatly. Because I can remember the first lockdown. I had a full capacity where my farm, and you know, I was looking at. I was very happy because I was very sure maybe this is something I'll get. But the day it was announced, my chicken were ready, and I had a full house. And immediately, the price came down, and there was nowhere to take them. And I'm outside the Nairobi metropolis. So getting licenses to bring chicken to Nairobi was something very difficult. And it made us scale down to almost half of what we had before COVID.
Where did you take them?
We had to hustle everywhere. We had to try and look for storage, freezers. We had to tell people, just take something small, you'll pay me back. Such things.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing that that had to happen to you. But now you're back to capacity?
Not really as before, but better.
But let me ask you, because I mean, challenges are always there. Yeah? How do you manage yourself out? Because you find that you're here. You're here. You know, legends are made out of those things.
Yeah, true.
So, how do you manage?
After COVID, of course, one thing that it taught us as farmers is you'll always have to think outside the box. Like, you know, storage. We don't have storage. You rear your chicken with the thought, I'll still take them to the market. Nobody knew there would come a time where you have chicken, they are ready, but you have nowhere to take them. So of course the first thing is you have to think, where can I keep them in case of such a thing reoccurring? So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is, you know, when we're coming to these brokers and these middlemen, we have to think. We formed a group where we try to sell from us to direct to the consumers or to the customers. So that group has really helped us because we can be able to eliminate the middle person.
Anthony. Let me ask you something, because time seems to be running every day.
Yes.
The kind of you just talked to a young person on how to start up and how to get a capital. Are there businesses you can actually recommend?
Oh yes, I think there are quite many. I mean, if we start talking about the business lines that one can actually
yeah, give them out, because you see, at the end of the day,
yes,
some of these, you had the word broiler.
Yes.
And I'm not calling anyone. There are people who will not soil their hands.
Yes.
So please.
Let me go back to our discussion of last week. So one of the things that people can actually do is look at the farm that you have, whether big or small. Then look at what fits that particular area.
And I don't want us to go into farming. I don't want us to
any
think
other
about
business.
Farming. Yeah, because you see, we are talking about any other, any other kind of thing, because we have at least an example of a farmer.
Yes.
Joan.
Yes.
So is there something else? Because you see, at the end of the day, not everybody will do farming. Yeah. Not everybody will do farming.
That's true.
Some of the people actually, we live in Stone City. This is called the Stone City.
Sure.
We don't live in farms.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I'll start with the most common things.
Yeah.
What you do is you identify an opportunity.
Yeah.
An opportunity normally lies in what people use either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. That would be one of the areas that you can look at.
Yeah.
It could be goods that you can actually look at and say, these goods are consumed every day.
Yeah.
You could be also clothing, and you say, these clothes are normally bought during certain times. It could also be services that people are looking for.
When you talk about clothes,
Yes.
You know the famous Ralph Lauren?
Yes.
His brand name is actually a designer.
Yes.
Do you know that guy started by selling ties, and actually wide ties? You remember there's a fashion of
Ties,
wide ties?
yes. The
Wide
broad
ties.
one, yes.
Yeah. So clothing, you can pick a certain line.
Yes. And every month you may find like ladies, they actually buy clothes. Men probably do, but not as frequent as women do. So that's another line if you look at it. If you look at the ladies, they also need services like on a weekly basis. Manicure, pedicure, they want to do nice hairdos, every other time. So that is another line that one could actually look at. Today, we have a huge population of people who are using motorbikes, either to do business or even to go to work. The spare parts required for that is actually, you cannot fulfill the demand. It's a very easy space to get into. And whether you're talking about the tires or the rim itself or any other part that needs to be changed, it can. The other thing that you look at is, what is it that is happening around the country? Look at the rate at which the population of cars is actually growing. So you could actually be the person who is actually doing the service. You just learn. And this is very easy. This is a technician's job. You could actually learn in 3 months or even a month. And you're actually able to say, I'll be able to carry out the service of your vehicle by changing the oil. And it's simple as I'm mentioning. So you'll be able to say, I can actually play in that particular space. You could also try and look at what is there that need to be provided. Look at the population of the young people in schools. And say they need supply. Supply of what? Every day they need milk. You can imagine a school with a population of 1,000 children. How much milk do they require in a day? So the young people must wake up and go and say, I can actually provide flour, and I'll be consistent. What about the receipts that they're using there? You can go to printing and say, I'll be able to provide this. They require uniform or even socks, just socks. If you're the supplier of one school, with a population of 1,200 students, and you're the supplier of socks, you'd actually make it in a very big way. If you look at the number of houses coming up, because housing is one of the components that even the government is looking at, and you think about the service provision, you can actually sell the electrical equipment that are actually required. You could actually work with another person as a KYM, Kadayamoko,
That is Greek.
That's Greek. KYM. You basically the left hand guy, if you know the right hand guy to the guy, that you're actually able to work with this particular person. Report to those places where people are actually doing things. Work where there's water connection. Enormous. Some of these, even taking some of these courses like plumbing and masonry and carpentry, the demand is actually very high. And I can tell you, young people, you can start a business as soon as tomorrow.
As soon as tomorrow.
As soon as tomorrow.
Anthony, I like listening to you. you're a man who has a lot of ideas.
Yes.
And that's why we are friends for long.
Yes.
You know, I'm just thinking about what you have just said. The element of starting small.
Yes.
Is the way to go.
It's the way to go.
Is the way to go, because when you look at the way things are going, you can fit somewhere. There is always somewhere to fit.
There is.
There is always, you know. The other day I saw a young man. He did something amazing. You know, John, this guy.
Yes.
He decided to make yogurt. Yogurt is everywhere anyway. Yeah. You can go to the supermarket and get your own yogurt. Yes. So you know what he did? He went where the matatus turn. You know, we call it stage.
Yes, stage.
So every driver and makanga were consuming his nini.
Yeah.
And he had this beautiful cup.
Yeah.
So they would come straight picking it. And they wouldn't even pay. So they would come, the next round they would pay him. Do you know that guy right now, he is not only in one route, he's in several routes right now.
Exactly.
He has now moved into town. Now he has a place now he's going into different stages with the yoga.
Moses, I like that idea. Can I give you one that amazed me? I met with a lady who said she came to understand that the hotels in Nairobi take a lot of time making the samosa, nice samosas. And she committed to making samosas for them.
Wow.
Proper samosas.
Yeah.
And said, I only need to make at least 2 shillings per samosa.
2?
Then, yes,
okay.
2 shillings per samosa. So in places where samosas are being sold at around 25 bob, she supplies to those outlets at around 20 or even 18 shillings. And she makes a minimum of 1,000 samosas every day.
Wow.
To supply to hotels, nice samosas, ensures that the quality is good. So what is it that one cannot do? I mean, people do not want to get into things that can actually give them money. If you supply 1,000 samosas and get 2 bob per samosa, you have 2,000 bob. Every day, 6 days of the week, you have 12,000. What more are we looking for? Young people, you can start somewhere. Look at that area where you're coming from and try to seize the opportunity. And you'll be able to find that there's something that actually people require. I gave a young man an opportunity to work for me. And he told me, I work for more than 5 people in a day. That time when he was working for me, he said, I can clean this space for you. And the guy would actually come in 2 hours, that cleaning of some space I have. And I would pay him 300 bob. The guy would actually go and tell me, I'm going to another place to go and clean. So there's a lot that we can actually do with ourselves. Allow me to say this, that when you're starting small, the greatest resource that you have is you.
You're the first resource.
Yourself. You're the first and the greatest resource that God has actually given unto you.
Tony, what lesson can one learn? What are the lessons that one needs to learn at that starting small? And before you to answer it, I'll ask you, Joan, did you learn any lessons you can give someone?
Yes, I did.
Now that your mom is a teacher.
I did.
Yes.
The first lesson is patience, like I had said. Patience. Because the business is not going to take 1 year. 2 years. It will take long before maybe you can enjoy greater benefits. The other thing I've learned is discipline, self-discipline, financial discipline. You know, being young, there are so many things that can attract us, but you know, you have to know you're working for something. Nobody's going to tell you, Joan, wake up. But you yourself, you have to learn that I have to wake up and go to my farm so that I can be able to do 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Those are 2 major lessons you've learned.
2 major lessons.
Tony, lessons.
I think the greatest lesson that one learns, apart from those 2, is you got to do it yourself.
You've got to do it yourself.
Because the people you're learning from, they actually do it. Whichever way. So one of the biggest lessons is you got to do it yourself. Number 2, you got to have a belief system that you rely on. I always say that no one gets out there to do something if they have not believed in it. So you got to have a belief system that is reliable. So believe in it and then do it. The number 3 is always remember, you will not end up where you started. that you have to keep on aiming. That is what we're talking about. Start small, learn quickly, and scale up.
Learn quickly.
So, yes, you got to do it. Listen to her, what she's saying. In 7 years, she's actually approaching 10,000 because I can confirm that number. And at the same time, she's buying from certain farmers and availing to the market. She's been able to do that. So you got to start small, learn quickly, and scale up. And I'll tell you,
let me ask you, John,
you'll get there.
Do you normally get business advice, and from whom or where?
The chicken company, where we get our chicks, where we get our feeds, they always have field people, officers. You know, they come to your farm and then they'll ask you what challenges are you facing, because sometimes the breed might be having a problem, the feeds might be having a problem. So they educate us, they give us seminars. You know, we have the support group where we ask our questions. You know, you ask fellow farmers, what are you going through? What can you advise me? Because there are some farmers who are really good and they can do it very well or better than others.
Yes.
So we support each other and the companies give us the field officers.
So you can say that for you to do business, you still need other people to support systems must be in place.
Must be there.
Anthony,
yes.
How do you add on to that? Because I think as one is starting small, I think that's a time when they need people to speak into them.
Thank you. I think let me start by what I call information, because one of the biggest challenges together with the market and finance is information.
Yes.
You need information. And some of the information is lay, while the rest of the information may be technical.
Yeah.
When it comes to the technical side, like Joan has said, you require the professionals to do that job. I always say that. Let the professionals do their job. Because the technical side of like rearing broilers may be very technical, because the birds can get sick and you actually need a vet. That's the truth of the matter. Eh? You may also get to a place where it is actually the feed quality and you may require a nutritionist. You may have a problem with water. And sorry to say, we may require a hydrologist or someone who can actually check that water for you. The same case when it comes to farming, like you're doing crop. You may also require to take your soil to the soil experts. I mean, we have a home of soil experts in Muiruri. There's the home of soil experts. There are two big companies in Kenya. One is called CropNut, the other one is called Soil Cares. So you require the technical expertise to come, to be given to you, to be able to sail through the project that you're going to go through. But some of the business do not require that. It is important to say so. While it is still an apprenticeship, or maybe you want to get into clothing and selling that, the moment you identify that this is a brand of, for example, unga that you can supply to a certain school, you don't require any expertise there. You don't require. But where you require technical input, kindly go for the professionals.
Wow. I think that's matters well said. We are beginning to wind up, so time is running out. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Or let me remove it.
I believe that in the next few years, maybe 1 year, I want to have expanded my business. Not only rearing chicken, but also providing the services. Like I can get people to call me anytime they need chicken. That's what I'd really love to have achieved. Maybe be over 10,000 and also be a place where some people can come and get ready chicken.
Let me ask you this. This may not be part of the scaling up, but let me ask you, do you have a place for, how does technology come into your business?
Technology?
Yes.
It has
do
great...
you use any, by the way?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Maybe like those few years back, we could use Jikos. You can remember?
Yes,
very big Jikos. But nowadays, there are so many things that you can do. We are doing gas brooding. And like gas brooding, it's just like the normal gas, the one used to, the normal gas to cook, or maybe biogas. And then it has been, there are gas burners, they are big, I can say they're like umbrella-like, shaped like devices that you connect to your gas, and then they provide the heat that is needed when you're brooding your chicken.
Yeah.
But just that's a few years ago, even when I had already started my own farm, we are using jikos. There's electricity that has, people are using it in a different way to be able to. Then we have sensors nowadays. I don't know if you've seen them.
For temperature?
Yeah, for temperature,
yes.
for in the farm, in the house, different corners, you have sensors that can send a text message to your phone. Maybe even when I'm here and I'm brooding, then it will tell me, this corner is this, the moisture is this much, the humidity, the temperature. So I can be able to tell my farm hands, this needs to be done, without me necessarily being there in the farm. So those small things have really helped us to even do, when you're even in the market or meeting other people, you can be able to tell if everything is going on the right way in the farm.
Do you sell online?
Not yet, but it's a plan underway.
Some of us, now we are buying things online, so we should encourage guys to buy your chicken.
True.
Eh?
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, Anthony, because we're about to close.
Yes.
In terms of the area of scaling up, I mean, starting small, could you just give in a nutshell, how can one scale up? You are small?
Yeah.
Is there a process of scaling up, or is just magic?
Yeah, there is. It's not magical. I mean, if you do not take care, sometimes actually what may hinder your growth may be the way you scale up.
Yeah.
So you have to be cognizant of the cost. You have to recognize the cost.
Yep.
You know the costs that are actually going there as you're scaling up, and you also have to look at the market.
Yeah.
Actually, the critical is the market. Do not act foolishly when you find that you're actually growing. What you need to check is how big is the market out there and how able are you to expand. So all the time, you should be able to look at the market first and then come back and be able to do things. The other way to do it is, like Joan has said, is form a community. Form a community. So sort of at some point, there will be a cooperative. And I know that it's going to happen for brother farmers. I know there's societies, kidogo. So once you look into that, then you're able to tap each other in terms of the expansion of the market. The other thing that you look at is, when you look at the cost, you have to look at the return on investment.
Yeah.
Always remember that if you keep to the same business and the same size of whether farm or house, there's the law of diminishing return in agriculture. And basically it's just a normal curve. It shoots like this, then it starts going down. So you got to look at the time when your business is mature, and we talk about the various stages of enterprises, so that at some point you'll be able to say, this is how you pick it up. When you're just about to start going down, you need to add something. One of that area may be through innovation, and she's already talked to me.
Yes, yes.
So when you're scaling up, you must ask yourself, how will I be able to handle labor? How will I be able to handle the market? How will I be able to handle transportation? How do I handle storage? All that. And if you look at it, let me just speak to the brider. You may start with normal houses. Soon after, you may have what you call environmentally controlled house. Because they are also there.
Yeah.
You may start with manual labor, and you may get to a place where you're saying you need to automate that labor. It's very easy to automate chicken farming. Very easy. Actually, very easy. You get even to what you call chain feeders. The feed is actually hooked, and then it is sent to the chicken through a chain feeder, through some traps, and they're actually able to feed from there. You may, at that particular point, you may require basically just two people to turn the manure and to do something very little around there. When it comes to storage, it's because you're taking care of the market to come. December, the demand is high. Easter, the demand is high. And at the same time, people do not want to get that during that time. You may want to have a storage facility. So it's a factor of the cost, the return on investment, and the phase at which your business is at.
Well, our time is ending, Joan. I hope you are able to enjoy yourself.
I did.
Tell me, if I wanted chicken, could you, if you wanted to advertise your business now and say that this is what I do, you can get me on this and I can get you chicken, look at that camera. I'll give you that benefit today.
Thank you. If you want chicken, you can get it. Or we just need maybe 24 hours notice. Then you can be able to organize. You can give a number?
Yeah.
Okay, you can reach me on 0725 174748, and we can be able to talk and do business together.
So that's for anyone who wants to sell, buy chicken.
Yes.
You can do that for them.
I can do that, yeah.
Anthony, give me a parting shot.
Well, I think mine is simple. I still want to encourage the youth. I'm one person who loves the youth. I mean, I can't put it better. And if it is possible for each one of them to identify their area that they're going to play, one of those areas is actually in agriculture. And the provision of food and the raw materials we talked last time is actually key. If you want to start, kindly start small. Do the learning and then scale up. And definitely you'll be able to take a niche within where you operate.
Well, Martha said well. That's Anthony and Joan today who've been with us. And I really want to appreciate you, Joan. I saw the sacrifice. Please, we are so grateful. Elevate is very grateful. And we cannot say it more. Starting small is the way to go, and this is the way to build anything big. Thank you for watching. I've been your host, Moses Muiruri. We'll see you another time next week. Thank you.